Hey, how's it going? So now I'm going to be talking about BMW and the recent announcement of investment into UK. Ahead of the visit to Minisband in Oxford, Business and Trade Secretary Kemi uh, hailed a success of United Kingdom government's plans for automotive sector. As the sector looks ahead of bright future thanks to over 6 billion of investments over the last 2 years made in this particular plant. This comes as BMW are set to announce a multi-million pound investment to transform the Oxford plant, security 4,000 high-quality jobs, and strengthening the electric vehicle supply chain. The news followed extensive government engagement and support. I remember perhaps then uh, perhaps 10 years ago or back then a lot of people I just started, right? So I believe I was working with a large group of friends. We were working in a job and we were looking for new opportunities, right? Looking at the markets and the different areas. And back then we heard about new opportunities within Oxford plant, this particular plant, and how many job opportunities there was at the time. Back then it was perhaps 10 years ago, and how much opportunities they had back then and how much they were paying for people. There were a lot of rumors, but I don't know how much of those rumors were true at the time. But currently, I'm looking at the different opportunities within the UK, and that would be perhaps one of the promising opportunities there. I don't know. Do your own research. Do not make a life-changing decisions until you've done your own research. But perhaps there are some opportunities there, or if anything, security. So if anything, new industries and maintaining 4,000 jobs, not necessarily within what's happening in the US, right? So automotive industry and what's happening within the US. I'm not entirely sure what that's what I'm trying to understand. What's happening. If they're gonna be restructuring the way how those companies are operating, or if they're gonna be diversifying. That means they're gonna looking to expand the operations by improving supply chains and having more of EV industry market share. So there's a different understanding and job security, right? So people out there might be interested in taking a look at the current markets and what opportunities can be within UK. The government is securing investment from industry by providing support for new plants and upgrading overall upgrades to ensure the UK's automotive industry thrives along into the future. Last week, Stellantis, makers of Vauxhall, Peugeot, Citroën, and Fiat, would that be French companies, announced that start of electric vehicles production after the 100 million investment to make their site in Ellesmere Port the first globally dedicated solely for producing of EVs. So, well, if anything, there are some highlights of how automotive industry are shifting they the targets and diversifying the supply chains within local markets where I'm based, if anything, because that one perhaps more of the Europe's markets as well as UK markets and some of the announcements that they are making. Other recent major investments also include landmark investments over 4 billion from Tata, something that I covered already, so as well as 1 billion from Nissan and AESC to create EV manufacturing hubs in Sunderland, and 380 million from Ford to make Hollywood the first EV component site in Europe, or not necessarily us again, not necessarily in Europe, but perhaps UK again. So just because perhaps geographically it's Europe, but perhaps it's UK. There is long-lasting and comprehensive programs of support for the case automotive sector, including Advanced Propulsion Center, the Automotive Transformation Fund, Faraday Battery Challenge, and Driving the Electric Revolution. Just last week, government announced that over 50 million of government funding has been awarded to 30 cutting-edge manufacturing projects, including rapid charging motorcycles and self-driving cars, cementing the UK as one of the best locations in the world to manufacture some of those projects. So, if anything, any takeaways from this video is some of those areas. So, funding was approved for over 30 cutting-edge manufacturing projects. Some of those projects, most likely, I'm not sure I might be interested in, as well as taking part in, is something that lead those projects as well as collaborate with those projects in how we can improve the industry, as well as there are ongoing opportunities out there for people who are interested. I would highly recommend to do your own research within self-driving cars. I have dealt some research as well, as if any people are interested, I might cover some of those topics as well. How many projects have been launched? I personally believe I have seen over 10 different projects launched within that industry of how those cars can operate. Perhaps different technologies might be people out there might be interested in looking at those as well. The government is committed to the future of case manufacturing, maintaining competitive business environment and reducing the burden on businesses. The manufacturing sector plays a vital role in UK's economy, and that Chancellor has identified advanced manufacturing as one of the five key growth sectors. Definitely, yeah. So if there's more funding, more opportunities, if anything, I completely agree with the person who made the statement that how to money should be used, and how money should be allocated, especially 100% of overall budget, and how to allocate that budget, and perhaps send that money to my company, right? So if anything, right? So perhaps I'm biased as well, and how those opportunities can be earned. Perhaps it would require a lot of my time and doing a lot of research as well in different industries and offering value. It would be myself or other business leaders who might be interested in working with existing businesses or setting up different businesses, as well as offering different technologies to those sectors. For people out there who are interested, I have published a book, Rise Impact. In this book, I'm sharing a lot of information for people out there who are interested in starting or launching their first company. In this book, I'm focusing on livestock enterprise, in particular how to launch your first business. I'm focusing on how to progress and set milestones, one of them being from 0 to 10,000 or first $10,000 your response, and how to achieve this milestone. In this book, I'm sharing all fundamentals for people who are interested in launching their own first enterprise and how to achieve those milestones. I'm sharing a lot of examples of people out there who have done it, and you can potentially learn from other people's experience. By doing that, perhaps that can reduce some of the expenses that you potentially could have by doing or trying everything, try and error. Perhaps not the ideal scenario for most of the people out there. You can find this book in the description below, as well as Top Retailers has it. If anything, just to summarize this video about recent improvements, as well as pledges of reducing of CO2 gas emissions, and an overall footprint, and how different governments are looking to achieve that by set timeframes, and that only can be possible with the changes taken into effect, especially into largest pollutions out there, and diversifying the over businesses diversifying their overall incomes by offering different opportunities out there for the customers, that being EV industry, and some of the changes taken into effect with some of the major car manufacturing facilities within UK. hopefully, for people who I cover that with all information which I personally believe is relevant to people out there. But if you are interested, I'll share a link into this announcement on the government's website so you can do your own research. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.